My phone buzzes against the nightstand at 1:46 a.m. The screen casts an eerie blue glow across my otherwise dark apartment. I blink, disoriented from the sudden intrusion into my sleep. Fraud alert. Unusual activity detected on your account. I bolt upright, suddenly wide awake. The notification remains there, unblinking, uncompromising. $31,573.87 charged to account ending in 4,328. The room spins. My hands shake so violently I nearly drop the phone. That's not possible. That's more than half my savings money I've guarded fiercely, pinched and saved from every paycheck since I started working at 13. No, 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 I whisper, swiping to open the alert. The charges flash before me. $12,000 at a luxury car dealership in Denver, $8,500 at an electronics store, $6,300 at a jewelry outlet. Multiple smaller transactions at restaurants and hotels I've never visited. My lungs constrict, refusing to fill with air. Black spots dance at the edges of my vision. This has to be a mistake. My credit card is right there on my dresser, untouched. Unless. A sickening suspicion slithers through me. I tap my father's number with trembling fingers, listening as the phone rings once, twice, 3 times. Music pulses in the background when he finally answers. Hello? Howard Coyle's voice sounds casual, relaxed as if he hasn't been awake at this hour, specifically waiting for this call. My mother's laughter floats through the line, bright and carefree. I hear ice clinking against glass. A party? At nearly 2 in the morning? Dad. My voice comes out strangled, barely recognizable. Ellery, what's wrong, sweetheart? It's the middle of the night. I squeeze my eyes shut, willing the room to stop spinning. Someone charged over $30,000 to my credit card. The silence stretches for exactly 3 seconds. Not the stunned silence of someone receiving shocking news, but the calculating pause of someone choosing their words carefully. Oh, he says finally. That. The way he says it flat, dismissive, shatters any hope this is all some horrible misunderstanding. You knew. The words taste like copper in my mouth. You did this. The family needed help, he replies, voice hardening. Your mom's dental work, Wes's truck got repossessed, and we're behind on the mortgage. I stand up, pacing across the cold hardwood floor of my bedroom. Through the window, the streetlights illuminate a peaceful, sleeping neighborhood, a stark contrast to the chaos exploding inside me. You stole from me? The question sounds hollow, childish. We both know the answer. Don't be dramatic, Ellery. My mother's voice suddenly joins the conversation. They've had me on speakerphone this whole time. What are you gonna do? Buy yourself a cake? We raised you better than that. Her words hit like a physical blow. I glance around my orderly apartment, the stack of finance books on my nightstand, the framed MBA diploma I earned working 3 jobs, the simple furnishings I've purchased only after careful consideration. Nothing extravagant, nothing wasteful. You had no right, I whisper. Family doesn't keep score. My father's familiar refrain, the same words he used when I was 19, and he emptied my first savings account to pay for his second DUI. Suddenly I'm 13 again, sweeping hair at Bellini's salon after school. The envelope of cash I earned over 2 weeks clutched in my small hand as I silently slipped it under their bedroom door. The quiet pride I felt, believing I was helping, being responsible. I'm 19, working 3 jobs while studying, exhausted but determined. The call from my father about his arrest. The bank account balance dropped to 0. His promise that he'd pay me back someday. I'm 24, 30, 31, the pattern never changing, only the amounts growing larger, the emergencies more frequent, my resistance weaker each time. But this is different. They didn't ask. They didn't even try to manipulate me into giving them the money. They simply took it. I'm disputing the charges, I say, my voice suddenly calm. You can't do that. My mother's shrill panic cuts through the line. We already spent most of it. They'll arrest your father. My laptop sits on my desk, its silver surface gleaming in the darkness. I move toward it, fingers hovering over the keyboard. Ellery Marie Coyle, don't you dare. My father's voice has turned cold, threatening. You owe us everything. Without us, you'd be nothing. I pull up my account activity, staring at the long list of transactions. Each one represents a betrayal deeper than the last. Each one a clear confirmation of what I've refused to see for decades. I'm hanging up now, I say. If you do this, my father starts. I ended the call, cutting off whatever threat was coming. For a moment, I sit perfectly still in the silence of my apartment, feeling something shift inside me, something fundamental and irreversible. This ends tonight, I whisper to myself, and press the report fraud button. The morning sun through my blinds feels like an intrusion. I've been awake since the 1:46 a.m. phone call, hunched over my laptop at the kitchen table. My eyes burn from staring at the screen, but I can't stop scrolling through the transactions. Luxury Auto Group, Denver, Colorado, $12,000. I highlight the line in red, then click open another browser tab. Their website loads, showing gleaming SUVs and sports cars. One particular model catches my eye, a midnight blue Charger with chrome wheels. Wes has been posting about wanting one for months. My stomach clenches. I open my photo gallery and scroll to last Christmas. There's Wes, arms slung around Dad, both grinning beside the ancient Ford truck Dad swore they were struggling to make payments on. The truck got repossessed, Dad had said last night. I pull up the bank's transaction details. The car dealership charge has an attached shipping address, not my parents' house in Grand Junction. An apartment complex in Lakewood, where Wes moved 3 months ago. My phone buzzes. Mom. I silence it without looking and return to the statement. Electromax Warehouse, $8,532.19. Another red highlight. I remember Thanksgiving dinner, Mom complaining about their ancient television while eyeing mine. Those big curved screens sure would make the football games look nice. Dad had said fork suspended midair as he waited for me to offer. I hadn't. Now they apparently helped themselves anyway. The phone buzzes again, then 3 rapid-fire text notifications. Ellery, please call us. We need to explain. This is all a misunderstanding. I set the phone face down and opened my filing cabinet. Inside, organized in crisp manila folders, lies 10 years of financial history. I pull out statement after statement, spreading them across the table like crime scene photos. March 2018, $4,200 for Mom's emergency gallbladder surgery. I found the hospital's number online and called. Records department. A woman answers. I'm checking on a payment from March 2018 for Denise Coyle's gallbladder surgery. Papers shuffle. I'm not seeing any record of that procedure for Miss Coyle. Nothing in March 2018? Or that whole year? No procedures at all in our system, ma'am. I thank her and hang up, hands trembling as I mark another red line through the statement. The pattern emerges with each folder I open. Dad's truck repair, Mom's dental work, Wes's college tuition despite him dropping out after 1 semester. The family vacation I couldn't attend because of work but somehow paid for anyway. My phone rings. Naomi's name appears on screen, the only family call I'll answer today. I just got the weirdest call from Aunt Denise, she says without preamming. Something about you losing your mind and threatening them with fraud charges? They stole $30,000 from me, Naomi. Credit card charges. Silence stretches between us. Then, Jesus Christ. I'm looking at years of statements right now. It goes back further than I realized. Are you pressing charges? The question hangs in the air. In the background of Naomi's call, I hear ordinary life continuing, dishes clinking, a television murmuring. I don't know yet, I answered honestly. I'm still figuring out how deep this goes. After we hang up, I open my laptop again and navigate to my credit report. The screen loads, revealing accounts I've never opened. A store credit card from 2015. A personal loan from 2019. A home equity line from last year. How did they get my information? Then I remember the faded Social Security card I keep in my filing cabinet. The one that disappeared for a week when my parents stayed with me after their furnace died last winter. I dial the fraud department number on the back of my credit card. A representative named Marcus answers. His voice sounds so normal, so calm, as if he doesn't realize my entire world is collapsing. I need to report fraudulent charges, I say, voice steadier than I feel. I'd be happy to help with that. Can you verify the last 4 digits of your card? I read them off, then begin listing transactions one by one. With each charge I dispute, my voice grows firmer, clearer. Marcus places me on brief holds to document everything, returning with updates. We've frozen your account and issued a new card, he says finally. The credit investigation will take 7 to 10 business days, but the temporary credits should appear within 48 hours. When the call ends, my email pings with confirmation notices. Each one feels like a small victory, a foothold on terrain I'm reclaiming. I pull my laptop closer and create a new folder on my desktop, Family Financial History. Into it go screenshots of every fraudulent charge, every misappropriated dollar, every fabricated emergency. The documentation feels like armor I'm assembling piece by piece. A text from Naomi lights up my phone. Whatever you decide, I've got your back. Around me, the morning light strengthens, illuminating the paperwork spread across my table. Each statement represents years of manipulation, of boundaries crossed, of trust betrayed. The evidence creates a map of exploitation so clear, I wonder how I missed it for so long. My finger hovers over the submit button for the official fraud report, form, the one that could trigger a police investigation, the one that could lead to criminal charges. The one that would permanently sever whatever twisted bonds still connect me to my family. For a moment I hesitate, then I press down firmly, decisively. The screen confirms my submission with a simple message: your report has been received. In that moment, something shifts inside me, a burden lifting, a chain breaking. For the first time in my adult life, I feel both terrified and free. My phone hasn't stopped vibrating since I pressed submit on the fraud report yesterday. 27 missed calls, 42 text messages, 3 voicemails. I place it face down on my kitchen counter and watch as it buzzes again, inching across the granite like some desperate, wounded insect. The latest text flashes on the screen. You're killing your mother. She hasn't eaten in 2 days. I take a sip of my coffee, the bitterness matching the feeling spreading through my chest. 2 days ago, my mother was laughing at a party while my father admitted to stealing over $30,000 from me. The memory of her voice, "What were you gonna do, buy yourself cake?" echoes in my mind, sharp and clear. The phone buzzes again. This time, it's Wes. "They're going to repossess my truck tomorrow. I'll lose my job. Is that what you want? Your own brother is homeless because you're being stubborn?" I set my mug down harder than intended, coffee sloshing over the rim. The spatters form a constellation of tiny brown stars across my pristine countertop. For a moment, I just stare at them, letting the anger build like pressure behind a dam. Stubborn, as if this is about me refusing to share a toy or lend a sweater. My laptop sits open beside a yellow legal pad covered in my neat handwriting. The list I started at dawn now spans 3 pages. Family phone plan, paying since 2018. Power of attorney, signed when I was 19. Co-signer on Wes's truck loan. Emergency contact on all family medical forms. Joint checking account with Dad, opened when I was 16. The list goes on, each item representing a financial umbilical cord I never severed. Connections that seemed normal, expected until they weren't. My doorbell rings, startling me from my thoughts. Through the peephole, I see Naomi, her curly hair tucked under a faded Rockies cap. My cousin. The only family member who hasn't demanded money from me in the past decade. "You look awful," she says when I open the door. No preamble, just truth. Thanks. I step aside to let her in. Coffee? Already had 3. She glances at my phone vibrating on the counter. Still at it, huh? I nod, watching as she picks up my legal pad and scans the list. "Jesus, Ellery." She whistles low. "They've got their hooks everywhere." "Had," I corrected her. Past tense. Naomi looks up, eyebrows raised. "You're really doing this?" Instead of answering, I slide my laptop toward her. The screen displays my calendar for the day. 9:30 a.m. Lawyer, POA revocation. 11 a.m. Bank, remove joint accounts. 1 p.m. Phone store, cancel family plan. 2:30 p.m. Insurance broker, remove as cosigner. About damn time, Naomi says softly, squeezing my shoulder. My phone lights up with a new voicemail. I press play and set it on speaker. Ellery? My mother's voice comes through, trembling and wet with tears. We can't buy groceries. The card was declined at Safeway. Your father's blood pressure medication. We can't afford it now. Is that what you want? For him to have another stroke? I never thought my own daughter would. I press delete before she can finish. The familiar weight of guilt presses against my chest, but for once it doesn't crush me. She should win an Oscar, Naomi mutters. Dad had a prescription delivery last week. I saw the charge on my account. I trace a finger through the coffee spatters on the counter. And they spent $8,000 at Tiffany's 3 days ago. Next day, the lawyer's office smells like leather and lemon polish. Mr. Harrelson peers at me over half-moon glasses, his silver hair catching the morning light. Are you certain you want to revoke all of these? He gestures to the stack of documents before him. All of them. My voice doesn't waver. Your parents established most of these when you were barely an adult. There's a pattern here that concerns me. He taps a yellow highlighter against the financial power of attorney. This grants unusually broad access. I know. The memory surfaces. My father's hand guiding mine to sign papers I didn't understand, his voice reassuring. Just a formality, sweetheart. In case anything happens to you. Mr. Harrelson removes his glasses. Miss Coyle, forgive my directness, but have you considered filing charges? The question hangs between us. Through the window behind him, I watch a cardinal land on a branch, bright red against the green leaves. One step at a time, I tell him, and sign the revocation forms. By late afternoon, I've severed 6 financial connections. With each signature, each confirmation, a small measure of lightness returns. The bank manager's eyes widened when I closed the joint account. The phone store clerk whistled at the monthly bill I've been paying. The insurance broker frowned at the policy details. Pieces of myself reclaimed hour by hour. At home later that day, I'm sipping tea from my #1 daughter Mugen ironic choice that makes me smile despite everything when the screech of tires outside announces their arrival. The slam of car doors, footsteps rushing up my walkway, then pounding so hard my front door shudders. Ellery Marie Coyle, open this door right now. My father's voice booms through the wood, vibrating with the particular anger I've known since childhood, the tone that once sent me scurrying to appease, to fix, to pay. Young lady, we know you're in there. What you've done is unforgivable. Through my front window, I see Mrs. Keller across the street peering through her curtains. 2 doors down, the Rodriguez family has paused their gardening to watch. The pounding continues. My mother's voice joins in, higher pitched, designed to carry to the neighbors. After everything we've sacrificed for you, this is how you repay your family? Inside, I sit perfectly still, watching steam rise from my mug. The contrast strikes me, chaos outside my door, the calm within me. For the first time, I don't rush to answer their summons. I don't scramble to explain myself. I don't open my wallet to buy peace. My phone lights up with a text from Naomi. Holding up okay? Then another from my coworker Diane. Missed you at lunch. Everything all right? The support surprises me. Have these people always been in my corner and I was too busy bailing out my family to notice? After 20 minutes of unanswered pounding, the noise stops. An engine starts, tires squeal, silence falls, precious as gold. I open my laptop and create a new folder on my desktop. I name it Family Financial History. Into it, I drag screenshots of unauthorized charges. Birthday dinner receipts where my card was charged but I wasn't invited. Emails from my mother asking for small loans that were never repaid. The fraud report confirmation. Years of exploitation, condensed into megabytes. When I finally close the laptop, something has shifted. I walk to the bathroom and stare at my reflection. The woman looking back has my features, but somehow seems different, shoulders straighter, eyes clearer. She looks like someone who might buy herself flowers just because. someone who might check her bank balance without holding her breath first. You are not an ATM, I tell her softly. That night, I slept dreamlessly for 8 straight hours. For the first time in years, I don't wake to check my accounts at midnight, terrified of what might be missing. Nothing is missing anymore, especially not me. 2 months later, the yellow tulips on my coffee table look wrong somehow. I circle them twice, adjusting the vase, before realizing the problem isn't the flowers, it's that I've never bought myself flowers before. Not once in 31 years. They're just tulips, I whispered to my empty apartment. $8 at the corner market. A tiny financial decision that required no justification, no emergency, no one's permission but my own. My phone buzzes with a text from Naomi. Tulips look amazing. Small steps, big victories. I snap a photo of my bank balance and send it to her. The numbers shine back at me, steady and undepleted. 2 months without a family financial emergency. The longest stretch since I was 13. The next weekend, I drive to Manitou Springs just because I can. The mountain air fills my lungs as I browse art galleries and sample chocolate from a local shop. When I check into a small bed and breakfast, the desk clerk asks if I'd like to extend my stay an extra night. Yes, I say, the word feeling foreign and delicious on my tongue. I would. That evening, lying on crisp white sheets, I calculated how many weekends like this I could afford now. The answer makes me dizzy with possibility. The Freedom honeymoon lasts exactly 18 days. My mother's Facebook post appears in my feed like a landmine. Some children forget who change their diapers and wipe their tears. Some children abandon family when they need them most. Heartbroken today. 17 comments beneath it, most from church friends I've known since childhood. So sorry, Denise. Children today have no respect. Praying for you. My finger hovers over the block button, but I screenshot it first. Evidence for the folder. 3 days later, my coworker Miranda taps my shoulder. There's someone asking for you in reception. Says he's your brother. My stomach drops. Tall guy? Wearing a Broncos cap? She nods. I find Wes pacing the lobby, cap twisted in his hands. When he sees me, his face crumples into the same expression he used when he wanted me to do his homework. Thank God. I got fired yesterday. They caught me using the company truck for a side job. His voice cracks perfectly. I've got Melissa and the kids in the car. We'll lose the apartment by Friday if I can't come up with rent. I notice 3 things simultaneously. His new leather jacket, the keys to a truck he supposedly lost, and the absence of his family in the parking lot. There's no one in your car, Wes. His face hardens. You're really gonna make me beg, after everything we've done for you? The security guard glances over. I lower my voice. I can't help you. Not anymore. Dad was right. You've turned into a selfish bitch. The words should hurt. Instead, they sound like freedom bells. The gifts start arriving next week. A bracelet I mentioned wanting 5 years ago. Gourmet cookies from my favorite bakery across town. A crystal paperweight with my name engraved on it. No notes, no cards. Just carefully aimed reminders that they know me. That despite everything, we're still family. I donate everything unopened. The voicemail comes at 10:37 p.m. on a Tuesday. My mother's voice trembles with precisely controlled panic. Ellery, your dad fell. He broke his leg badly. The hospital won't operate unless we pay up front. Please, just call back. My hand shakes so violently I drop the phone. My chest constricts as the familiar pressure builds the instinct to rescue, to fix, to solve. I'm halfway to my laptop before I catch myself, recognizing the practiced choreography of my response. Check it first. Verify. The family financial history folder sits on my desktop like a lifeline. I open it, scanning through documented patterns. 3 medical emergencies in the past 8 years. Dad's gallbladder surgery turned out to be a weekend fishing trip. Mom's dental work that mysteriously coincided with her new living room set. Wes's broken arm healed remarkably quickly after I paid for the specialist. I can afford this surgery. My savings would take the hit but survive. But I can't afford what comes after the inevitable next emergency, and the next, the bottomless pit of need that would swallow everything I've built. My hands steady as I open my checkbook. I write a check to myself for $5,000 and label the memo line Peace Fund. Tomorrow I'll open a new account at a different bank of fortress around what matters most. The email I send my mother is brief and calm. I include links to hospital financial services, Medicare information, and 3 local orthopedic clinics with payment plans. For the first time, I choose myself and the relief floods through me like sunlight after a storm. The invitation sits on my kitchen counter for weeks before I touch it. Thick cream stock with gold foil lettering, Naomi's elegant taste evident in every detail. Inside, a handwritten note. I understand if you can't come, but I'd love to have you there. You're the only family member who never asked me for money. I trace my finger over her words, feeling the indentation of her pen. 3 months since I blocked my parents' numbers, changed apartments, and installed a security system with cameras that alert my phone. 2 months of actual restful sleep. The morning of the wedding, I stand before my closet, my fingers finding the black satin dress I bought for this exact moment. Not funeral black, something richer, with a quiet gleam that catches light. The fabric whispers against my skin as I zip it, a sound like secrets being kept and revealed all at once. Not mourning, I tell my reflection. Closure. The garden venue sprawls across 3 acres, white chairs arranged in perfect rows, rose petals scattered along the aisle. I arrived deliberately late 20 minutes before the ceremony, enough time to slip into a seat near the back without the prolonged agony of small talk. But heads turn as I walk the stone path, conversations halt mid-sentence. My Aunt Martha's hand flies to her throat, Uncle David's eyebrows shoot upward. And then I see them. My father stands near the gift table, one hand gripping a champagne flute, the other resting on my mother's shoulder. His leg, supposedly broken during the emergency 2 months ago, bears his weight perfectly. No cast, no limp, no crutches. Our eyes lock across the garden. I don't look away first. Something flashes across his face, surprise certainly, but something else. Something I've never seen directed at me before. Uncertainty. My mother whips around, following his gaze. Her scarlet lipstick forms a perfect O of shock. She clearly expected me to be a no-show, or perhaps to arrive hunched and apologetic, eager for reconciliation. Instead, I nod once, coolly, and take my seat. The ceremony passes in a blur of vows and flowers. I focus on Naomi's radiant smile, the genuine joy between her and Marcus. When they kiss, the applause washes over me, and for a moment, I'm simply a cousin celebrating love, not a daughter dreading confrontation. That moment ends the second the reception begins. Ellery, my mother materializes beside me at the punch table, tears already glistening in her eyes. Perfect Timinga cluster of distant relatives lingers nearby, straining to overhear. How could you abandon your father during his recovery? He needed surgery. Her voice carries just enough for the eavesdroppers. The trap is set. If I argue, I'm causing a scene at Naomi's wedding. If I apologize, I've surrendered. I pour cranberry punch into a crystal cup, watching the liquid catch light. I'm here for Naomi, I say, my voice clear and measured. Not for you. Her face crumples not with genuine hurt, but with the realization that her audience isn't getting the show they expected. Across the reception space, my father raises his champagne flute in my direction, a public toast attempt. His eyebrows lifted in expectation, the familiar silent command that preceded countless childhood capitulations. Wedding guests shift uncomfortably, sensing the current running between us. Someone coughs. A few people reach for their own glasses, assuming this is a family reconciliation moment worth witnessing. I look directly at him, my glass remaining firmly on the table. 1 second passes, 2, 3. My father lowers his glass first. The power shifts so visibly that my cousin Ryan actually whispers, "Damn," under his breath 2 tables over. "You've changed," Aunt Judith says, squeezing my hand as she slides into the seat beside me later. "It suits you." Family loyalty matters more than pride, Uncle David mutters as he passes my table, not quite looking at me. My cousins dart glances between us throughout the reception, some understanding, others clearly having heard only my parents' version of events. One by one, they choose sides with their seating arrangements. Jason and Blair join my table. Melissa and Todd sit with my parents. Naomi catches my eye from across the dance floor and mouths, "You okay?" When I nod, she shoots a warning glance at my mother, who has been circling closer again. That night, I kicked off my heels at my apartment door, the security system chiming its welcome. My laptop sits open on the coffee table. I navigate to my account settings and scroll through subscription services. Disney Plus, the last digital thread connecting us, the account I've paid for since my father mentioned wanting to watch The Mandalorian. My mother's profile, my father's profile, my brother's profile, mine unused for months. My finger hovers over cancel subscription. One click. A confirmation box appears. Are you sure you want to cancel? I press yes. The screen refreshes. Your subscription has been canceled. I close the laptop and walk to the window. Outside, the night sky spreads vast and deep, punctuated with stars my parents never bothered to name for me. I don't need their constellation to navigate by anymore. 6 months later, the alarm chimes at exactly 6:30 a.m. I silence it with a practiced motion, then lie still, waiting for the flood of birthday texts and missed calls that have marked every 31st of August since I got my first cell phone at 16. My screen remains dark. No notifications, no voicemails. I exhale slowly, a weight lifting that I hadn't realized I was carrying. For the first time in 32 years, I'm waking up to a birthday that belongs only to me. The silence in my apartment feels different today, not empty but full of possibility. I swing my legs over the side of the bed and wiggle my toes against the cool hardwood floor, grounding myself in this moment of unexpected peace. In the bathroom mirror, I study my reflection. The permanent crease between my eyebrows has softened. The shadows under my eyes have faded. I look younger at 32 than I did at 31. Happy birthday to me, I whisper, and my voice doesn't crack. I brew coffee in the French press I splurged on last month, a small luxury that would have been impossible in my previous life of constant financial drainage. The rich aroma fills my kitchen as sunlight streams through windows. I no longer keep curtained against unexpected family visits. My phone buzzes against the counter. I steel myself, expecting the dam to break for my mother's name to flash across the screen with some manufactured crisis designed to reclaim my attention on this day. Instead, Naomi's message reads, "On my way with cake, no candles because fire hazards are for children, you're ancient now." I laugh out loud, the sound startling in its authenticity. When Naomi arrives, she's balancing a lopsided chocolate cake with vanilla frosting, my favorite combination that my mother always forgot in favor of my brother's preferences. "You made this?" I ask, taking the cake from her hands. "From scratch." She shrugs off her jacket. "Almost burned down my kitchen, twice." The cake sits on my counter like a declaration, imperfect, honest, made with genuine care rather than obligation or manipulation. "Thank you." The words feel insufficient. Naomi squeezes my shoulder. "You were never the problem, Elle. You were just the first to escape." We sit at my small dining table, eating cake for breakfast while watching clouds drift across the Colorado sky through my eastern window. The conversation flows without the undercurrent of anxiety that always accompanied family gatherings. Later, after Naomi leaves, I open my laptop and check my accounts, a habit I'm slowly breaking. The numbers remain steady, growing incrementally without the sudden depletions that once marked my financial landscape. The separate savings account labeled Peace Fund has nearly doubled since I created it 3 months ago. I close the laptop and walk to my small backyard where I've started planting herbs in terracotta pots: rosemary, basil, mint, things that will root and grow, that require care, but give back in equal measure. Standing in the afternoon sun, I realize that family should never come with a running tab. People who truly love you don't drain you. They protect your peace, not demand your paycheck. For the first time in my life, I am completely my own.